Hey guys, welcome to the latest battle report. First I'm going to show you around the board. We are doing Crusades. We've got 6 objective markers. Today we are on a wrecked Imperial complex, load of industrial units here that are destroyed. And we've got a couple of bastions in here that have been looking after the complex when it was actually up and working. So objective markers today, we've got one on this bastion here, one up here on this bastion, and then one hiding around the back of this mini power plant unit. On the other side of the board we have got one on that bastion, we have got one on that bastion, might be spotting a theme, and then there is one just inside that destroyed building there. HQ choice for today, we have got Herald Deathwolf riding around on his wolf, and he's got his frost axe and his storm shield. So joining Herald Deathwolf today there will be the Thunderwolf cavalry. I've got 2 guys set up with storm shields and chainswords, and 1 guy with a thunder hammer and a power shield. Elite choice for today, we've got the Terminators, so we've got 3 with lightning claws and 2 with thunder hammer and power shields. Now I know that Pete's Nids need to get into combat and are going to have to cross the board, so I know these guys aren't very shooty, but they're going to be there to get into combat with Pete's big Nids and try and do some damage up with the big guys. Terminators are going to join into this battle in the Stormwolf, so they'll obviously come on as reserve and hopefully do some damage, as this is an assault vehicle, but only time will tell. One of my heavy sport, well, my only heavy sport choice for tonight is a Vindicator. So I'm hoping this will sit at the back of the board and drop some big shells on top of the Gribblies, but hopefully, normally I miss with this thing, so hopefully I'll get some good shooting out of it tonight. Also tonight I've got my Venerable Dreadnought, the Forge War miniature, so I'm hoping this will do quite nicely at shooting up some of the little bugs as well with its assault cannon, and if it does get into combat, obviously it's got its power claw. First of my troop choices this evening are a 5-man Grey Hunters squad, accompanied by leader with the power claw there. I've only gone for 5 mans because, again, I know Pete needs to advance across the board, and with the mission that we've rolled, these guys will sit at the back of the board on holding an objective and hopefully just be a fire point. Second troop choice for the evening is another 5-man Grey Hunter squad. This one has a plasma gun. Again, these guys are going to sit on the back of the battlefield holding on to an objective, hopefully stay there all game. Third final squad of the evening is another 5-man Grey Hunter squad. Again, the squad's got a plasma gun in it, and again sitting on an objective at the back of the battlefield, because like I've already said, you know, the tactics with the Space Wolves against the Nids, I'm going to have to sit at the back of the board because these guys I'm fighting tonight are combat driven, so I need to sit at the back of the board and just hopefully shoot them down in enough numbers before they get to me, so I do actually have a chance of beating them in combat.
Okay, my HQ choice for my Tyranids is a Hive Tyrant with heavy venom cannon, lash whip, a bone sword, and he's also got a Tyrant Guard with some crushing claws, just give him a bit of protection. Okay, my first troop choice is 3 Tyranid warriors, one with lash whip, bone sword, one with a death splitter, and one with a barb strangler. My second troop choice, 20 Hormigans. My third troop choice is 20 Termagants, 10 with flesh borers and 10 with devourers. And finally, my fourth troop choice is a Broodlord, as you can see, with 8 Gene Stealers. Okay, first elite choice is 2 Hive Guards. Okay, my first heavy support choice is a Tyrannofex, armed with an acid spray, and it's also got electroshock upgrades and regeneration. Second heavy support choice is a Dakafex with Twinling Devourers with Brain Leech Worm.
So then deployment, Space Wolves won the roll off. I decided to deploy first and go first. My Vindicator is here, looking down over the open ground there. 5 Grey Hunters deployed inside the bastion, holding that objective. Thunderwolf cavalry are in the middle of the board, basically behind that building, so they've got a choice of ways to go really, up the middle or down the left or right hand side. Over in this bastion, the other 5 Grey Hunters squad, supported by the Venerable Dreadnought, and finally on that objective over there are the third and final Grey Hunter squads. The Stormwolf Flyer and the Terminators are in reserve. Warlord trait, I got the Saga of the Hunter, which gives my Warlord outflank and stealth, which to be honest I'm not going to use. That's why they're deployed there, because coming up from outflank means you can't assault, and against Nids that's a bit deadly.
Okay, this is the deployment for the Nids. Got my Tyrant Warriors there, the card effects supporting the Termagants. Got the Hive Guard in the top, hoping to shoot a flyer down, fingers crossed. Okay, then I've got my Hive Tyrant with Tyrant Guard. He's supporting the Hormagants and the Tyrannofex. They're hopefully going to run up there and deal with all that. We're just going to have to deal with the flyer and the Terminators when they come on. I haven't really got a lot to shoot it down, so I'm just going to have to hopefully he goes into hover mode and we'll catch him in close combat. And then finally we've got the Vindicator and the Grey Hunters over there, and we've infiltrated sneakily there, so hopefully take the Vindicator out in close combat and just make their life difficult over there basically. So that is it, so let's start rolling some dice.
Space Wolf movement turn 1, the Grey Hunters and the Dreadnought and the other sections of Grey Hunters haven't moved. Thunderwolf Cavalry have moved round this side, back in the back of this bastion. Give a bit of support to these Grey Hunters here, again haven't moved. Now Pete trying to be slightly sneaky with his infiltrate, so I've moved a Vindicator there, and it's either going to go really well and I'm going to kill lots of Gribblies, or this is going to be a disaster. Space Wolf shooting turn 1, managed to get a hit with a Vindicator and land the pie plate basically on top of them, catching all the Gene Stealers and the Broodlord. Broodlord died straight out. I managed to roll 4 ones when wounding the Gene Stealers, so 4 of them are still alive behind that building. That's going to be slightly messy.
Okay, before the game we roll for Warlord powers. I got Digestive Denial, which basically means I can lower a terrain's cover save by 1. So that literally is a 6-up cover save now. Okay, movement phase Tyranids. The remainder of the Gene Stealers moving in on that Vindicator to get some revenge for their precious Broodlord. That is classic. First model new model syndrome. Died in the first 10 seconds, as with all new models, as many gamers will understand that. Then the Hive Guard are just securing that objective. The Termagants have moved forward, looking to throw some shots at those Grey Hunters with their range. Attack effects is there, supporting them, and the Tyrant Warriors is there for synapse and to throw some shots as well. Over here we've got quite a lot of movement over here. The Hormagants have ran already, so they've already been spitting distance of all of the Space Wolves. And the Hive Tyrant is just looking to shoot the Venom Cannon into the Dreadnought, and the Tyrannofex has just moved around the other corner. So that is the end of movement turn 1. Okay, Tyrant shooting phase 1. Pretty poor. These Hive Guard have failed me again. This is the second battle and they've been pretty terrible. They are lowering the ballistic skill has just been devastating for these guys. They shot at them and missed everything. The Termagants were just in range of the front 5 were in range, and they actually happened to kill a Grey Hunter, so we'll call that a result. And everything else, as happens in the Nid army, is out of range on turn 1, but I'm sure we'll pick up some shooting in turn 2. Okay, Gene Stealers have absolutely failed. They assaulted the Vindicator, needed 6s to glance, we got 10 hits, and those are the dice. So, Richard's got a bit of a smile on his face because his Vindicator is untouched, and I've got 4 Gene Stealers in the open, so I think that is the end of that squad, but it's certainly the end of its effectiveness.
Space Wolves movement turn 2, the Vindicator has reversed and is literally going to open fire on the Gene Stealers that are left. The Thunderwolf Cavalry have moved forward and are galloping out in the open, heading towards, can only be described as a lot of bugs. Everybody else has stayed still because literally I need the Nids to walk towards me and get within gun range, which they are now, so that should lead me to do some shooting. Stormwolf fire hasn't come on this turn. Vindicator reversed back, opened up and scattered, but lucky enough killed 2 with the scatter. Grey Hunters up here, open fire. Termagants down there, killing 4. Grey Hunters over here, and the Dreadnought open fire on these guys. I think killing about 4 in total.
Tyranid movement phase 2. The Genestealers have attempted to, well, they've failed to do anything to that Vindicator. Probably a poor tactical decision, but they're hoping to at least take a whole point off it. He's moved his Space Wolf cavalries up, well, his Wolf cavalry up. I'm not entirely sure that's clever, but we will see, because there's a lot of shots going on down there. There's Devourers, there's a Twin Leaf Devourer from the Carnifex, 3 Tyranids Warriors, and the Hive Guard. So, hoping to kill that squad, you never know. They have ridiculous armour saves, so we'll see. And then, movement phase here, we'll just ran the Hormagates again, like I always do, because there's no point in not running them. The Tyrannofex has moved up, hoping to torrent those Grey Hunters behind the fuel depot, and the Hive Tyrant's just moved up for support, and he's hoping to Venom Cannon the Dreadnought, because he missed last turn, which is almost impossible, but he did, which is great. It's just the way my rolls are going this today. So, okay, Psychic Phase was a washout. Starting to hate Hive Tyrant spells, or Tyranid spells, but yeah, I did Psychic Blast on the Dreadnought, and although I passed it, got it away, I rolled a 1, which is depressing because all I needed was a 2, but that's just the way the dice rolls. Okay, and then shooting phase. As you see, they've been whittled down heavily. That's just pure weight of fire, that was, just from basically shot everything at them. I don't think the Grey Hunters were particularly dangerous, so I've just left them. Then the Hive Tyrant shot his heavy venom cannon at the Dreadnought and still didn't do anything. So Dreadnought is becoming a thorn in my side, even though it's not doing particularly much. Might have to take it out in close combat, I think, maybe. And then the Tyrannofex has taken out 1 Grey Hunter with his acid spray. So that is a shooting phase, turn 2. And we're going to go to assault, which the G-Stealers are at least hopefully going to get a glancing hit on that Vindicator. They have failed to do anything to that Vindicator, but if anything though, it's distracting that Vindicator from a much juicier target, so let's hope that continues. So,
Space Wolves movement turn 3. Finally my reserves are on, so Stormwolf's on. It's going to literally open fire everything he can. Nothing else has really moved over here. Over this side of the board, the Space Wolves have moved around the building, trying to get a little bit of cover. Over here, this is a bit of a do or die situation really for the Vindicator. Vindicator's pulled out of combat and has moved over here to get a good line of sight on these guys, while these guys in the building open fire on the Genestealers and try and take them out. Otherwise, that Vindicator is toast. Space Wolf shooting turn 3. The Grey Hunters up there managed to open fire and kill the Genestealers. The Vindicator managed to open fire and taking out 7. Over here, Thunderwolf Cavalry obviously having shot. Over here, great bit of firing over here. The Grey Hunters and the Dreadnought and some of the Grey Hunters from over there open fire, wiping out about 8, I think it was, something like that. Are these little guys, so they're well pushed back now. Over here, the Stormwolf open fire with its las cannon, its heavy bolters, and its Hellfrost cannon. Hellfrost cannon was unfocused, taking this guy down to 3 wounds. Unfortunately, the Hellfrost cannon actually missed. Must be new gun syndrome. So that's the state of the board at the moment, so it's assault. Assault for the Space Wolves. The Thunderwolf Cavalry and Herald Deathwolf failed to get into combat by 1 inch. The result in 60 Overwatch shots, and he took 1 wound on the HQ choice.
okay, start time in turn 3. Just movement. I'm not going to lie, it's not going well, and we've just had that flyer turn up, and I'm running out of ideas. So, but we will fight to the last. Okay, we've moved the Termagants to get a clear shot of his commander. Over there. Move the Tyranid Warriors to get the objective just up in that building. The Hive Guards still sit on that objective, so hopefully they'll hold it to the end of the game, so they're pretty tough to kill. Although because they don't do anything, nobody shoots at them anyway. And then Tyranid, the Carnifex has moved up to hopefully throw some glances at this flyer, but I'm not in any hope that I'm going to kill it in one shot, but you never know. And the Hormiguns have moved up. I was thinking about assaulting the Dreadnought just to hold it in combat, but I think probably going for the Grey Hunters is probably a better idea. And then the Tyrannosaurus is just going to go and finish off those Grey Hunters, hopefully. And the Hive Tyrant is sitting there, waiting for the Terminators to drop out, and they are probably going to kill him. Okay, Psychic Phase. The Hive Tyrant has shot a Psychic Lance at the Dreadnought, and although I rolled good dice to get it, but Rich rolled 4 6s, which is almost unbelievable, so he denied the Witch. Then I rolled Paradox on these guys, and they are now -3 weapon skill and -3 ballistic skill, so they are not particularly combat effective at the moment. I was determined to get at least a point on the board by killing his HQ choice. As you can tell, they're still there. So the DAC effect shot at him, because I thought there wasn't much chance of me actually doing much damage to that flyer. So I thought maybe just ignoring it might help, but we'll see. They all shot at it, so at 31 shots, 12 shots, 6 shots plus the Bar Strangler, 4 shots on the Hive Tyrant, and we had lots of wounds, probably about 12 wounds, maybe even more than that, I didn't count to be honest with you, but all you know is they're still standing, didn't take a wound. They just to rub salt into the wound. I had wounded all of those Grey Hunters with the Tyrannosaurus, and he passed all his saving throws, and that is it. Nothing happened basically. Oh, I took a hull point off the Venerable Dreadnought, so yay me. So now it's time to go into assault. Okay, the Hormiguns jumped up and assaulted the Grey Hunters, and yeah, it didn't go too well. So that was the last gasp attempt at trying to get them, and I killed 0 of them just because Richard, over probably about 30 armour saves in a row now, I think he's passed, which is just unbelievable. And yeah, he got counter-attack, which I didn't forget about, but I thought I'd at least kill a few of them before he got in with me. So yeah, so he killed 3 of mine, I think. 3 of mine, and 2 no loss of him. So he's probably going to clean them up next turn. And we haven't even got the Terminators out yet, which is about to happen. So my day's about to get worse.
Space Wolf movement, turn 4. Basically nothing's really moved over this side. There isn't many nids left over here, and I'm about to take a few more off. Over here the Thunderwolf Cavalry have moved around over here to support the Space Wolves that have jumped out of the Stormwolf. About to go into Pete's HQ. Obviously these guys tied in combat can't do anything. The Venerable Dreadnought has moved forward, it's going to have a pop at that guy, and these Grey Hunters are staying still to secure that objective. Space Wolf shooting, the Vindicator killed the Tyranid warriors down here, managed to land on target, got all 3, they're only toughness 4, so they were instant killed. Space Wolves up here, the Grey Hunters open fire down here, killing 6 of these. Over here, the Stormwolf opened fire on the Termagant and, well, took off 2 wounds, leaving him with 1. And basically the Dreadnought got a rending on him and took him off the board. Okay, Space Wolf assault, these guys up here are no more. Wipe them all out with the Grey Hunters in combat. Down here, Pete's HQ choice has gone. The Wolves and the Terminators both all made it into combat. Terminators didn't need the help from the Wolves, they killed everything on their own. I did lose 3 Terminators in the process, however, but that is Slay the Warlord.
Obviously with all my Synapse dying, my Hive Tyrant and my Tyranid Warriors both dying, I am effectively screwed. So my Synapse, my Termagants passed, my Hive Guard didn't, so they're just pinned, and my Carnifex failed, so he can't shoot but can charge the close unit, so it'll have to be those guys here, which isn't a massively bad result, but for a shooting monstrous creature that's pretty poor. The Hormiguns are dead. I tell you what, I'll sum this battle report up with the corpse pile. That's the Nid's corpse pile. That there, that tiny pile of Marines, is the Space Wolf pile. some days it's just a bad day at the office. Every time Richard had a saving throw to make, he made it. Every time he had to hit something, he hit something. The Termagants moved to maybe shoot some of them, and the Carnifex has gone on a crazy rampage and is running towards his lord. So I might get a victory point in this game at some point if I kill him. In the shooting phase, these guys killed a Grey Hunter, so that's basically doubled his corpse pile now, I think. The Carnifex charged into them and did 1 wound on the Hammer of Wrath, then subsequently missed all of his attacks, which would have basically killed them, but they didn't, and they killed him. That's just how things are going.
Space Wolf movement turn 5. The Dreadnought has moved round a little bit. The Thunderwolf cavalry are over that side of the board with Linebreaker. The Stormwolf has moved around here, trying to take out these two guys that are pinned up here. Terminators have, slowly walking their way across the board. These guys up here obviously stay still, and so there's a Vindicator ready to open fire on these little guys here. Space Wolf shooting, the Flyer opened up on these guys here, managed to take a wound off. Hellthrust Cannon didn't really do anything. Lance Cannon took a wound off. Down here, however, there is literally this one little guy left, all on his lonesomes.
Okay, that Termagant failed his synapse, so he's just chilling there like a little fella. I can't really do anything, so he's basically combat ineffective. And these guys actually passed the synapse, so they are going to hopefully get very, very lucky and shoot down a flyer. But we will see. Okay, Tyranid turn 5, it's pretty much over, but him with a lurk spill got to shoot at the closest stand-up enemy and actually killed a Space Wolf, so he's done more by himself than the Hive Tyrant. And the Hive Guard actually glanced the OP flying thing, whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm a little bit bitter now. I think it's quite funny. We had this battle, we tested this battle about 2 weeks ago, and funny enough, I tabled Rich by turn 3, and now we've come to film it. I've been tabled at turn 5, well, effectively tabled, because there's nothing else we can do really, so I think we're going to call it there.